And we are live.
Okay.
Okay. Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Truth and Tales podcast with your favorite host. Yeah, I want to say Yemi. Sorry. Podcast with your favorite. Imagine. All right, let's start with this. All right. Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Truth and Tales podcast with your favorite host, Victoria. And
Yummy.
all right, welcome, guys. Thank you so much for joining us once again for another
Yes.
interesting episode of the Truth and Tales podcast. Today is very
Mm-hmm.
special because today we have both a truth and a tale. Okay,
Yeah.
yes. So, yeah. First of all, we'll be addressing one of the questions that one of you guys asked in our previous post, right, or our
Mm-hmm.
previous live that we did. Yes, we'll be addressing that question, and then we will now address the tale of today. But anyways,
Yeah.
before we move on to today's video, remember to subscribe if you have not subscribed to our channel. Please remember to like this video. Remember to share with everybody. In short, if you are watching now, just start to be sharing,
Just
okay?
yeah,
Because I'm sure
exactly.
it's going to be beneficial to a lot of people, okay? All right. So, like I
Yes.
said, today we have a very, very interesting episode, and we don't want to waste time with a plenty introduction. You guys already know I have my channel, Victoria Fast, on YouTube, right? You can check my channel out. Yemi has our personal channel, Yemi Ayodeji, also on YouTube. You can check her out and see what she's up to in that UK that she is, okay? and, and just to keep up to date with, what we do personally, right? Okay, so without much talk, Yemi, over to you. Tell us. Let's start from the truth, so that we can address the question of our subscriber.
Okay, yes, I'm so ready for you guys today. Welcome. Thank you for joining. So I'm just going to read very quickly because we are trying to be time conscious. I'm going to read very
Yeah.
quickly the question we had from our previous live, which we discussed about, I think, someone who got married to, who is planning to get married to someone who is older with a child. Like, it's a very
Yeah.
interesting one. If you've not seen it, just go and see it so you understand where this question is coming from, right? So, yes, she said, I'm 21. I only finished secondary school 2 years ago. I'm now in my first year of university with no source of income whatsoever. I've met someone. He's loving and caring, and I believe in my heart and in my mind with no doubt that this is my husband. Such faith.
Okay.
Okay. So now this is the problem. She said the problem is his church doesn't allow makeup, hair
Mm,
braiding of any kind, not even your own natural hair. That part, I'm
hmm.
really confused. Like, but anyways, if I marry him, I have to be a member of this church. What do I
Mm.
do? Also, I'm worried because getting married without my own independence, I'm I'm so confused. Please help. One thing I know is he is the one. So she knows for sure that this is her
She's like
person. This
sure.
is her. Yeah,
She's
she's
really, really
very
sure.
sure of that. But the problem she has is with the church, changing everything about herself, makeup, something that you're used to, your way of life, even natural hair. They say they don't want. So she's asking for help, like what is she going to do about that? And she's also worried about, getting married at our own independence. So yeah, before I share myself, what do you think, Victoria? What do you think on this church
Well,
issue?
first of all, I think the way she's so sure, even me, I was not that sure about my husband, even on my wedding day.
I'm confused.
I don't know. I'm not saying the guy is not the one, but
Yeah,
trust me, we all think we are very, very sure until we get into it and realize that
yeah,
am I really, really sure? But anyways,
yeah,
that's aside. I mean, if you absolutely are certain that the person is, someone that you can spend the rest of your life with, I mean, all right, all well and good, okay, but we already advocated for this for you guys to know that, I personally don't even believe that there's one person made for you, right? So the way she
yeah.
kept saying, no, she said it in the beginning, she said it in the end, in the middle, and in the end, he's the
So sure.
one, he's the one.
As
I'm
in
not saying he's
assurance.
not the one. I'm just saying that there is no one person that is made for you. That if you miss that one person, you have missed it in life. That
Yeah,
kind of thought. vanishes from your heart. Okay. However, if he's a person that obviously is a person that she likes, is a person that checks her boxes, is a person that she sees herself spending the rest of her life with, which is amazing. I mean, you can find that person at the age of 18, some find their own at 19, 21. I mean, amazing and good for you. Okay. But the two issues I see here, right? First of all, addressing the issue of church, because I can only imagine that there are a lot of people who are probably facing this issue, in their own relationships, because I know that initially also it was a problem. And I know a friend of mine also that, I was kind of trying to match make her with somebody, but she's so invested in her church that she will have to move states. It was just a very messy thing, and she was like, she's not sure she's ready to make that kind of. I mean, I was like, you guys are just dating. Nobody says you marry, but that's it. That's an aside. But I'm just saying that a lot of people actually take their church community close to heart. And I know when I met my husband too, it was one thing I was like thinking, like, I didn't really know his church then, but of course I came to Abuja, I attended his church. I really loved the church. I fell in love with it, so it was good. But I'm just imagining if the man was maybe attending a church that I know that spiritually I will not be able to grow, then it's definitely something that we'll converse about. In short, before I attended this church, I actually spoke to him and told him that, see, this is your church. Would you be open to us attending different churches? I don't subscribe to that because I believe that, both you and your partner you should be under one lordship, receiving the same umbrella, because that's how you go. Okay. So, however, I just feel that open to him. And he said, I mean, that he told me that he's absolutely sure I would like his church. However, if I don't, he doesn't mind. Right. But my own case was different because I love the church. Right. So for this, I understand that aspect of, am I really sure? Like, they don't allow, I can't imagine that in this church they say I cannot wear earring, I cannot braid my hair, I cannot. My own salvation is not in it's not in the hair that I do, or neither is in the earring that I wear, the trouser that I wear, or anything.
Exactly.
So yeah, I can only imagine if that was the situation when I met him, it would have been a problem, because I'll just tell him, like, people always think, see, this is it, right? I remember my husband's case now. There was a person that he was dating before he met me, right? The lady was I think, is it 7 Days Adventist, or one of those churches that they don't believe in the things that we Pentecostal Christians believe in, right? They believe they have their own Bible, they have their own way of life. They don't celebrate birthdays, they don't celebrate, all of those things. They don't believe in that. I don't know them, but anyways, that's a part of Christianity, right? But it was against my husband's belief, and it was like, it cannot go on with this, because this person is so invested in that church. That church has become a part of the person, like, this church is that is almost like, God forgive me, like a court, so to speak. And I'm not saying that is what that particular church is. I'm just saying personally that when you yourself has turned your church to your, it's so, and I feel like I'll be going all over. But I just feel like a church is a place of worship. You should, when your church becomes like a mini God to you, where you are now like, you are attached too much to the church than you are with God, there is a problem there, because I see that happening a lot with a lot of Christians. But let me not deviate because I'm looking at time. what I'm trying to say here is, it's a dicey situation, and the only way she can get to the bottom of this, to have a conversation with the guy, especially if you're coming from a church where you are allowed to express or dress however you want, to glorify God, and you are in that kind of situation. You need to have that conversation with him, because this is God we are talking about. It's your relationship with God that we are talking about. And there's a way that your church affects it, because a church that is not allowing you guys to even braid your natural hair, imagine the kind of thing that they are feeding the flocks in that church, right? Because that is just one step to a lot of other things. You understand? It's until you get there, you realize that there are a lot of other doctrines that you might not be able to, you will not be comfortable. And I always say, any relationship that is going to take your heart away from God, it's not worth it. Okay, so have that conversation with him. Let him know that these doctrines of your church is not something that I can, personally, my faith does not agree with this. So how do we go about it? Right? And then you have to still make the right decision for yourself. Ultimately, if you think that being in that church is not going to affect your relationship with God, I mean, go ahead. But if you think and don't lie to yourself, because I know you're already saying the one is the one. But you need to ask yourself the top question: is this relationship actually going to be beneficial to me? Is it going to affect how I see God, how I relate to God? Because if they're asking me not to, have my natural hair done, they're asking me not to do this and that, like, what are the other things that they are going to ask me or they will ask
Yeah.
of me when I get into it? And will you be willing to do that? Is it going to affect your relationship? Because trust me, if it will affect your relationship with God, it is absolutely, absolutely not worth it. Okay. And then on the other point, I think it's just the situation of our age. You're 21, you are not independent yet, obviously. You are still trying to figure out your life. Again, that's the conversation I think you need to have with yourself and be sure if you're ready to get into marriage yet. Because you're in a relationship does not mean you have to get into marriage. But don't let me talk plenty. I mean, that's my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, I think not to even like go about it over and over again. I think it's you just have to have the conversation with your husband, the one you envision yourself with.
The one.
Because I did not have like that kind of situation where I think both my husband and I, we're not deeply into a church that we couldn't like let go of or anything like that. So for us it was more like this is the church my parents were attending, this is the church I grew up in. I'm not really keen on that. His parents he grew up in CSC church. He wasn't really keen on it. I myself I practically decided on which church I wanted to go. I was an Anglican at a point, and then I was in Redeem. As at the time we were getting married, I was in Redeem, so it was like he's not really keen. I myself am not really keen, but we decided that okay, we'll go to a church and we will both of us will check the vibe, we check it with our spirit. Okay, do we really like this church? And then once we settle, like we both decided that we'll agree on a church that we both. If one person is arguing that I don't like it, and one person is like I really like it, so we're not going to do that. Like both, all of us must like be on board. Both of us must be on board. And so we just decided on that. So I think ultimately it depends on you and your person. You have to just make him see that, it's like that this church that he wants you to attend, they are like going to be taking a part of your identity. Like you are somebody that, so are you going to cut your hair now or are you going to, and then you realize that if you continue like that, if you, and we're saying just before we started that this is the thing that most times it's the women that have to compromise on cases like this. And you realize that once you compromise on that and it's not really from your heart, that's how you start to hold a grudge. That's how you have
Yeah.
start to not some kind of anger, some kind of resentment that even when you're going to church with so much anger, you become rebellious. You would not be the one that they'll be using as an example in the church just because you don't want to lose yourself to the doctrine. At the same time, you want to keep your husband happy with the decision, all of that. So I think at the end of the day, you just need to agree. Both of you just need to see that you need to let him see the fact that this is not you and you're not going to change just because I'm modest. We're married, you're like I'm now a married woman and you just turn 360 degrees. No, it doesn't happen like that. So both of you just have to reach an agreement on what you're going to do. Is it going to give you time? Are you both of you going to look for a church? I mean, it's just to grow in the faith, it's just to serve God. We are the church, everybody makes up the church. So at the end of the day, it's not really about so all these doctrines and everything if you keep going to it and say you want to please your husband, it's not even getting you closer to God. Because I feel like when you start to nurse all those anger, resentment towards church, you don't want to join any, you're just going for going sake. Who are you deceiving? At the end of the day, you're not doing God a favor by going to church. So I think at the end of the day, just to discuss with your husband to be the person that you want to marry and just let him see that no, this thing can't work for you. And both of you should agree on the church. The two shall become one. Not one dragging the other
Yeah.
person to the old life. Two should become one in this new church. So, so that's how
Yeah.
I see it. That's just how I
Yeah,
see it. So
I love that point you made about, in as much as, and I think I know somebody actually, I can't remember who the person is, but the person was
something is wrong. Something is wrong. Oh no. Please bear with us. These are the issues. These are the issues with recording live. If you are joining us, oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh, okay. I think should reconnect back. It's easier that way. Sorry guys, if you guys are watching us live, we apologize for the breaking transmission. You guys know all these issues, these internet issues. Yes, things we have to deal with. Okay, but she's back. She's back on now. And if we're about rounding up that line of thought, so okay, thank God you're back. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay,
Yeah, I can
all
hear
right.
you.
Sorry about that. The call just came in and destroyed my own network. I'm sorry. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know. You can hear me clearly now, right?
Yes. Let us know if you can hear in the chat room, but I can hear you clearly. I can hear you clearly. Her motion sensor network.
Okay, sorry guys. So sorry about
Yeah.
the network glitch. This is
Oh no, what is happening?
can you hear me now, Yemi? I am so sorry, oh. Oh.
Yes.
I didn't even know that you had left. This is why I didn't want to host this stream. Sorry, sorry guys. It's Nigerian network. Don't be angry. They're angry at Spectranet. Okay,
I was
so
and I was like, I'm here.
okay. Sorry.
Alright. We
Okay.
apologize, guys.
Sorry, guys. Very soon we are going back to our normal, right? So we'll be having all of this wahala again.
We'll go back to our usual activity.
Yeah. Anyway, so I was saying that I liked what you said about, even, I was talking about someone I know that said, the husband didn't like the wife's church, the wife didn't like the husband's church, and they both had to agree on a church. and the two of them, they started attending that church after they got married. So I mean, if that's a situation that your partner is open to, I think it's definitely something you should have a conversation with him. I think if he thinks you're worth it, then I mean, why not, right? If your church is not it for him, the two of you should be able to find a church that would be good enough for the two of you, right? So I think you need to have that conversation. I also like what you said about before you know what is happening, you start to lose yourself, you start to have resentment, and you don't want that kind of a thing, especially when it comes to your relationship with God, right? So yeah. Can you still hear me, Yemi?
Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know why.
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Okay then. Okay, so I think we can just move on to the second conversation quickly. Yeah.
All right. So we're going to the main truth of the day. What we're actually going to discuss. Okay, so this one is a tale, or is it a truth? Now, no, it's actually a truth. It's actually someone's truth. Okay, but I'm going to be reading it very quickly. So she says, my boyfriend and I have been together for not for a not for a long time, but I think it's for a long time she's trying to say. So I was in a very toxic relationship before I met him. And I think that relationship has made me toxic. Like, anyways, there's a lot to talk about that, but yeah, it happens like that. I hope you guys can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you.
So that relationship has made me toxic. I decided to move on, and then I met him. Like, she met her new boyfriend. So we just got together, I think maybe for 4 months now. But I have this thought that all men do is cheat and lie. I can't get over it because of my ex. My ex was exactly that way. And as my relationship is new, I didn't want to start going through his phone and all. He has been really nice and sweet, but I feel he's hiding something from me. So I got him a gift, and he doesn't know that the gift has a camera in it. Imagine,
Really?
plus of past trauma.
Talk about emotional damage.
I'm telling you. Anyway, she goes on to say that I'm so. No, not here that part. Okay. So she goes on to say that. Sorry.
The funny part.
So she goes on to say that the funny part is that he put the gift she sent to him. He put it in the right position. I would have put it if I were the one to place it somewhere. It's been about 2 months and he has been faithful. No calls from random girls and no female visitors. Up until last week when he had a visitor. And I could see that when he got up in the morning and he cleaned up his room so good, like really so good, I started feeling strange, but decided to hold myself. And just around 3 p.m., she walked into his room. That's the latest or side chick or whatever. And I could see and hear what they were talking about. He told her he has a girlfriend, even told her my name, but she said it doesn't concern her. They had an intimate moment. Oh. I'm so upset. It's been almost a week. I haven't spoken to him or returned any of these calls. I even stopped checking the camera. Like, why are girls so wicked? You know he has a girlfriend, but you can't keep to yourself. Or should I even blame my boyfriend that couldn't keep to himself too? I want to take that camera out, but I don't know how to do it. I don't know if I should take back the gift or break it. So we have to throw it away. I can't even tell him I know he cheated on me because I will have to explain how I found out. And if I tell him the truth, he will hate me and think I'm a psychopath. Please help me.
Are you sure you are really not?
In fact, I'm just like, there's so many layers, to this. Honestly, it's just so like kilo digo. Oh my god! Do you want to go first? Do you want to say something first?
I don't even know. Like, where do we really start from? So, starting from the fact that she said she was coming out of a toxic relationship, and she even admitted to the fact that the relationship has made her toxic. Right? So she has become something that she's not supposed to be because of the relationship that she was coming out from, and then it has made her believe that all men lie and all men cheat, and then she ended up spying on or having doubt about this new guy that she's with, who hasn't given her any reason to doubt her affections for him. And then what she was looking for, she eventually saw it. And now it's a matter of how do I now approach it? I mean, it's just a very messed up situation. But starting from the beginning, so that we try to address this thing one after the other.
Yeah.
The part of you're coming out of a toxic relationship, you know that relationship has made you toxic. Obviously, you still have some issues you are yet to deal with. And then you went into another relationship with the same hurt, with the same mindset that relationship has put you in. And then you're using your experience because I was having this my one-on-one session with these girls, and one of them, a conversation we had this week was about when you start, one way to know that you are still hung up on your ex is when you start to compare your ex with what your current boyfriend is doing. Everything he does, you are comparing to your ex. And we had a very elaborate conversation about it, because when you don't take your time to heal, especially when you're served breakfast, when you don't take your time to heal, you end up just, getting into a relationship. Number one, you're not seeing clearly. Because I believe that you're getting out of a relationship where obviously you were cheated on, the person lied and, caused you emotional damage. There is a place, and that's what I always say, there's a place of mourning. It's like you have lost somebody. You have to allow yourself time to heal, right? And then when you heal, in the place of healing, there's a place of denial, there's a place of anger, there's a place of resentment, and there's a place of, coming into acceptance. Trying to understand what role did you play in it? What were the signs that you didn't see? What were some of the things that you contributed? Was it that you were, maybe you were too desperate? Was it that the guy was giving you signs and you were not seeing it? Was it that you were committing too much? Was it that, this is what happens during your time of healing. You try to process it. And the reason why you go through that is so that you don't make the same mistake twice. If there's an adage that is only a fool that makes, well, anyway, don't let me say that, because many of us it took us to be beaten more than like twice or three times for us to get there. Right? So,
oh my, sorry, I want to say that this, I don't know what is wrong with my, no. I'm just saying that if anything goes wrong with this connection, I would reconnect again, but just keep the conversation going.
That's fine. That's fine. Right? So, from the very beginning, you already have a problem. The fact that you're coming out of a relationship, you have a mindset about men that you've not tried to address, because it's normal. When you come out of a relationship, you will be hurt. You will have mindset. Men are scum. Men are, all these girls that are going and say men are scum, men are dogs, men are stuff. It's one man that destroyed them, that made them like that. Yes. So you need to first of all get to a place of healing. So don't jump into another relationship until you know that you're totally healed, because that would even help you to see the signs. Because this person that cheated on you, because there's a part, let us even get to that, because she missed certain things that she ought to have seen, because you've had that experience before you entered into a relationship with this new guy. So the fact that you're already feeling insecure from the beginning of the relationship, it could be from your past. It could also be because you are seeing patterns that you refuse to admit that these are like patterns that I've seen from the person I was dating initially, or you are just damaged emotionally and you've not gone for therapy. So it's either of those two. But from what I can see, eventually we already know the end of the story. The guy eventually cheated on you. Well, before we can get there, first of all, then you went to buy. That's the present. You needed to know that something is wrong, because one of the things I always say, before you decide, I don't even know what's wrong with our generation. It's like we just enter into a relationship without really thinking. Because before you decide to get into a relationship with somebody, it has to be somebody that you trust absolutely. Someone that why get into a relationship with someone you don't trust? Why do you want to give yourself that kind of heartache? Okay? So you enter into a relationship, you don't trust him, to the point where you're buying camera. This guy have mind though. Because, hey, God have mercy.
I wrapped it up as a gift. Nice.
Do you know how creepy it is that I'm in my house and, hey, somebody is looking at me and I didn't know. Someone is literally watching me. Do you know how you can get arrested for that? You can get sued for that. That's like, are you okay?
And what if somebody else even comes to whatever your control room and it's not just you that is watching that? Then anything can, maybe that person is having his own private time, and then that person is a mean person, records and go about spread. Like anything can even really just happen, Anything can happen.
It's just really, I mean, honestly, if it's me and I catch her, I will not report to police. You be arrested. But something is wrong with you. They need to lock you up in mental hospital because that's not normal.
No, she's not a psychopath. She's just a damaged
no, she's close.
somebody.
She doesn't need a psychopath. Have you ever seen a psychopath and said I'm a psychopath? They don't know yet because really, trust me, heartbreak makes you do stupid things. Heartbreak literally messes up with their mentality, their brain function. Heartbreak is very, very terrible. And sometimes you might think that, it was just heartbreak, you were heartbroken, you're fine. But you're not fine because something has gone wrong. And if you don't go and get it checked, you will end up doing crazy things like this. I don't know if you've seen this series, My Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. There was a series like that I saw. It's a series. And, this girl, this was how she was doing. She was obsessed with the guy that she was dating. The guy had broken up with her. The guy moved to another city. She moved with him. She was literally stalking him. It was like a very, very crazy thing. And we didn't know. Even she didn't know that she had a mental issue. She was a psychopath, actually, in that movie. So when I was reading this was just reminding me, like, go and get yourself checked. Honestly, go and get yourself checked because that is not normal, right? I mean, if you know that this person, you don't trust him, end it. Why go through and become a criminal because you are trying to do what? So that one aside, so we already addressed the fact that there's definitely something messing up with you mentally. You either need to see a therapist. You definitely need to see a therapist. And then eventually you said for 2 months, the guy was good, nothing happened. You guys were having a fantastic relationship, which is, good. And then all of a sudden, a girl entered his house and he told the girl that he's in a relationship. He called your name, but he still ended up going intimate. Like, so the girl just barged into his house. There've not been conversations before. There's not been, because a guy will not just enter my house and say he just wants to sleep with me, and I'll tell him I'm married. And
so maybe it's a friend to benefit situation or a one-night stand kind of situation.
I mean, obviously there's been some communication. Maybe the thing has not happened in the house, but there's been some form of communication before that kind of incident can happen, right? So, but the girl came in, they became intimate, and then your question is, how can girls be? Is it the girl that is in a relationship with you? This is our problem as women. When you see the person you're dating cheating on you, you blame the woman that is cheating with, not the man that made a commitment to you.
You know that she said that the guy, a committed, loving boyfriend, said, how's girlfriend? And she mentioned her name. So that's consoling.
So for her, that's like, how dare she? After he told you he had, so
yes, me.
You knew her intention. You did not walk her out, or the guy is disabled. He cannot walk the lady out, right? Then he said, you have to call your name so that you are now okay. Now saying that it's the girl. The girl raped him, or the girl forced herself on him, right?
Exactly.
So obviously there's a lot of rubbish that is going on in this relationship kind of setting, and then you'll say, and that's why you don't know how much it pisses me off when I see 2 women fighting. And then when you not even see the team they are fighting on, you see the team they are fighting about, you be like, I mean, as I have like this, we're going to be beating, punching, throwing punches because of one man. May God not let us see. May God not let us see the devil. And I saw those things going on. People in the barrack, you snatch my boyfriend, and the boyfriend is there with another person. You understand? Like, it's a very, very crazy thing. Why would you want to? But the person who made the commitment to you, he said, so him saying that he has a girlfriend means that he has tried. That's the best he could do. Come on. So to me, this is just a very messed up situation. First of all, the girl has issues that she needs to attend to before getting into a new relationship with anybody, because this is what happens when you don't heal. You end up hurting people. You end up hurting yourself, because if this thing gets out, you can be arrested for infringing of privacy or whatever things that they get people arrested for. You understand? So I don't know, Yemi.
I think honestly, the major part of this thing is just, what you've talked about, that is healing. Like, there's no way you can forge ahead into a healthy relationship coming out of a toxic relationship, and you just straight away enter. She's bound to find something sooner or later. If it's not the cheating, she'll still find something that she'll find irritating, because there's no way you're meeting somebody and you still not find a little bit of imperfections in that person. There is, oh man, there's no way you would not. Oh, bye, Noah. Thank you.
there's a is it your try and your the connection. Aha. I think it's better now. Yemi, are you still there? Okay. Anyways, until hopefully she will join us soon. I'm not sure why this is our network today. The Lord is our muscle. Anyway, so yes, okay, I think she's back.
What's happening? Can you see me?
I can see you, but now we are three. There are two of you on the screen.
Can you imagine? I don't know. Okay. Okay, that one's gone. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but your camera is dark.
That's because my phone. I was actually using, so my phone just is. I think the weather is really affecting
Yeah.
It's so hot. It's so hot. So I knew it was going to do that because it kept showing me some kind of. So
my phone. That's fine. Yeah. So I usually go to the freezer when it starts to do that.
When it is like this, it's going to take a while. So I already knew that's why I put this on standby. But this one, the video quality is just not the best. So I apologize, you guys. I apologize. I apologize.
Yeah. So you were saying.
Yeah, I was talking about. Okay, but I hope everybody can see me. I can hear me clearly.
Yeah, I can.
Okay. So I was saying that with this issue now, there's no way you can just move from a toxic relationship, a relationship where you are not fine. Both of you were just not fine. You even her could attest to the fact that it was a toxic relationship. Even she herself was saying that she feels like she has now been like she has become toxic herself in that relationship, and you expect that okay, you just dive into a healthy relationship just like that. I mean, you're bound to see things, even if you didn't see the cheating. You're still going to see something else that will piss you off because you're already in that place that you're looking for fault. You feel like something is wrong. She just said she feels like something is wrong. She feels like there's a fault. So even if it is not that, you will still see something that will just put you on the edge. Maybe you hear the guy talk about how much he's earning and he didn't tell you how much he's earning, and you just be like, oh, so he's earning this much. I knew it. I knew something was wrong because something is wrong with you already, with the lady. So there's no way, there's no win-win with that situation. Whether you caught him cheating or you're not catching him cheating, there's no win with that situation. It's bound to it's because it's toxic. It's bound to end in tears. It's a toxic situation, and just like you said, the only solution to it is just healing. It's just healing. There's no shortcuts to it. There's no managing it. There's no trying to pretend that you're going to meet somebody that, even if you meet somebody that is the most patient person, is the most caring person, is the most loving person, your toxicity is going to damage, it's going to frustrate the person, that the person will be like, I beg, I cannot chew more than I can swallow. So the best thing is just to work on herself. It's the best thing is just to work on herself to get, because at the end of the day, like I feel like, or something I believe is that every experience we have, it leaves something on us. It's either it's a scar, it leaves on you, or it's something that helps you to forge ahead in the future. It's either it's a scar or a lesson, or it empowers you somehow. Every experience that we have, it leaves us with something. It doesn't just, like the way people say you cannot unhear what you have heard, or you cannot unsee what you have seen. You cannot unexperience what you've experienced in life. You cannot unexperience it. So if you've experienced a toxic relationship, you cannot unexperience it. It tells on your body, it tells on your mind. So why the rush? Why the rush in less than 4 months? And you knowing yourself, you're already assuming that something is wrong. Even when there's nothing wrong, even when you meet the most perfect person, that thing about you, that thing that is still in your body, it needs to find somewhere to balance itself. And as long as it's still there, there will be a problem. So all this, how do I take the gift out? Blaming another lady is not the point. Blaming the guy.
That's far from the point, because how you will take that gift out, that's between you and your heavenly father. Because
and ancestors. Because heavenly father does not send you message. It's to be on your ancestors. Another thing.
Maybe the guy is not around. You happen to be in his apartment. You can just go and carry the gift and break it by mistake and tell him he broke in your hand whilst you're admiring it and remove the camera, because if they catch you, go ahead.
Another thing is that, because the toxicity is still in your own body, it's still in your own system, you continue to attract people that will feel that kind of a thing in you. I don't know. There's just the way bad behavior attracts bad behavior. I don't know. I've not seen somebody who is sane, somebody who knows what they are doing, somebody who is all right, that you keep attracting the same thing. I don't know how to explain it. Once you get healed, once you heal, you notice that when you experience repeated patterns, right? Until you're conscious of it, that this is something that I'm experiencing. You're like, you know what? I don't want to experience this thing. You'd realize until then, those patterns, like it keeps occurring until you're like, what's happening? Why is this thing happening to me? It's always like that. You see that there are cases of mothers trying to avoid what happened to them. They don't want it to happen to their children, but then it eventually happens because you're just trying so hard not to repeat a cycle, but you're not actually taking the steps that you need to take. You're just like, out of fear, out of like, you know what, I don't want this thing to happen. I don't want this thing to happen. But you're not doing what you need to do. I think it's exactly the same thing here. When you don't heal, you're just going to be attracting things. You're going to be attracting cheats. You're going to be attracting somebody who is not truthful. You're going to be attracting somebody that is not, because you yourself, you're not right. You're not whole. So there's no shortcut. Like I said, like there's no shortcut. This lady just needs healing. Whatever will make you go and plant something in where there's supposed to be the highest level of trust. I think you should have the highest level of trust with your relationship now, with your boyfriend, somebody you intend to spend the rest of your life with. There should be a high level of trust in that kind of relationship. And if you don't have it, excuse, what are you doing? What are you doing? Just
it's not a do or die.
It's not a do or die. Even the relationship with herself is not all right. Our relationship with herself is not all right. Talk more with another person.
Exactly.
No,
I think we've already hit the nail on the head that it's a matter of your heart. So in case you're in that situation where you're always suspicious about your boyfriend, you always feel every relationship or every person you get with is going to cheat on you, or is going to end up breaking your heart, or without them giving you any reason, you already have that kind of feeling. You need to really, really ask yourself, first of all, where is that feeling coming from? Sometimes it's not even you that got the breakfast. Maybe somebody around you, got breakfast, or maybe your parents. Maybe it's a mindset, that you've had growing up and all of that. Because what you are looking for, you will find. Okay, so don't be looking for what is not necessarily there. Because for all you can tell, this lady, obsession might be what even was driving the guy. Because they were having a good relationship, no cheating, no whatever, according to her. But maybe there are some attributes that even she did not know was making the guy, move away from her. But I don't know. I'm not making excuses for the guy, obviously. I think that the guy never respected you or even loved you as far as I'm concerned, because it doesn't really make sense. So
it's just calling her name to fulfill all righteousness.
Nothing is going to come. Number one, the guy has cheated on you. He hasn't told you that he cheated on you, because if he came and say, this lady came, it was a mistake, I fell, I shouldn't have, then at least that's a conversation. You know that he's sorry, he wants you guys to work on it. But he hasn't told you, but he doesn't know you know. So the two of you are living a lie because you are spying on him, he's cheating on you. What's the difference between the
Exactly.
Right? That relationship is not, to me, just break it and go and heal yourself. Then then get into a whole relationship, because there's nothing wholesome or normal about the relationship that So yes, I think I don't know, do you have any other thing to add?
There's nothing to add to this case. There's no shortcut to it. Go and heal. Healing is the answer. Healing is the answer to toxicity.
I know, right? And then to the first lady that asked us the question, thank you so much. We hope we were able to address your question, right? We said independence. I think that independence, we didn't really touch it well, but there's nothing we can actually say about that also, because you need to decide. So marriage is not easy. Finances breaks and makes marriage. Okay, so I will never advise a person. Yeah.
If she wants to find anything on independence, just go and watch all our videos in the past. Watch the other that one answers it.
Yeah,
I
marriage
answered
is
it
hard.
like,
Yeah,
like,
even the last video we did, we even talked about it. Like,
yes,
marriage is
no.
hard enough. Don't go and put yourself into a situation where
That's it.
you you are just going to put yourself into a tough situation, right? So,
Yeah.
anyways, thank you guys so very much for sticking around. Emmanuel, I saw your message. My own internet is motion sensor. I don't blame you. Thank you very much for the embarrassment, right? Thank you so much, Tayu Courage, for sticking around with us.
Yeah.
People who
Thank
stick
you.
around, those who are left, those who are still here, we really appreciate you. Thank you so much. Don't worry, for those that will be watching later, most of the glitches will take it out. We'll try to take it out before you guys watch it
Yeah.
by tomorrow. But yes, thank you guys so much once again for joining us.
Thank
We hope this
you.
conversation has been beneficial to you. If you have not done that by now, I don't know, you are wrong. Please make sure you like this video,
Yeah.
share this video, subscribe to your channel, invite your
Yes.
friends, your families, your enemies to come and watch
Yes.
our channel and be blessed by the Lord. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, until meet again. My name is still Victoria. Victoria, and we are still your favorite host, Victoria and
Yeah, me. Yeah, me.
all right, guys. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye. Thank you guys. Bye.
Babe.